Good afternoon, everyone. Next Generation Weather Forecaster Joe Shaka here at StormChaserJS.com, looking at two areas of interest in the Atlantic for development. Actually, one is developed and is actually now Hurricane Beryl. You can see right in through here. Very, very small system, but still is an 80-mile-an-hour Category 1 hurricane forecasted, I believe, to become a 100-mile-an-hour Category 2 hurricane. And wouldn't it be surprising if this even becomes a little bit stronger than that? Maybe even Category 3. That may be stretching. But anyway, here is where Beryl is located, and we're going to go through some of the guidance and see what the models have. Then you're going to see my forecast track and intensity for Beryl, and we'll also look at 96L in the same video. So we have a lot of things to go over today as the tropics are heating up. And then here again is a close-up shot of Beryl. Let me try to zoom in here. You can see here's the system right over here with the mouse, so you can see that is where Beryl is located in relationship to everything else. So basically here is the 6Z GFS. You can see here where the model has Beryl, and we're going to go through these here. This is off the NCEP site, you can see. So there's where the model has it. Here we are again. You can see here this is this evening. This is tonight, or 8 p.m. And then here we are tomorrow morning, midday, tomorrow evening. You can see that west-northwest movement, and then it looks like by Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, it will be coming into the islands here, the Leeward Islands, Sunday evening into early Monday. You can see it. It looks like it will weaken as the conditions will become a little bit less favorable for development, including some more dry air and some increased wind shear, which will help to cut down on this system's impact. But there'll definitely be impacts with heavy rain, wind, and obviously some rough seas along with that. So you can see what the GFS does with that. Then it continues to move it off to the west after that, and it probably will fall apart after coming through the Leeward Islands and getting towards close to Puerto Rico. So here's some of the track guidance. Again, you can see here, nicely clustered together, so we know where this is going to be ending up over the next few days. Here's where my track is. You can see now. Let me try to zoom in here if I can on the map here, so I can go through this. So here it is now, 70 knots, 80 miles an hour. Tomorrow I bring it up to 75 knots. Sunday I get it to 80 knots, and then Monday I begin the weakening process. I keep it a hurricane through here, knowing how warm the waters are relative to normal. I forgot to put the SST anomalies on, but the waters in here in the Western Caribbean do favor intensifying, even though there is some wind shear. It's such a small storm that it may be able to pull this off. So I think this has a shot to get to 80 knots. We're already at 70 knots, and it's not that too far away. Yesterday, this wasn't even a named feature, so it really developed quickly. And again, it has a chance to do it, I think, between now and Sunday to get to 80 knots, and then you can see where I take it off after that. Now let's take a look at what's going to go off the East Coast, or what's going on now. Here is 96L here. Here's the feature right here off the South Carolina coast. Let me zoom out a little bit on that. So here is the feature. Here's another close-up. Not as good of a close-up there. But anyway, here is the GFS, again, 6Z run. You can see where the model has the feature right over here. Here's where the model has the 96L, the invest. Here it is tomorrow. This is I did these at every 24 hours because it's not going to develop that quickly, so I don't want to go every 6 hours with something that's not going to be there. But I think I went every 3 hours once we get later into this. So here is this is early Sunday morning. This is early Monday morning. So you can see it takes probably until about Monday afternoon and evening for it to start showing up in the models, and there it is right there. And there's also the Beryl right there. But you can see this is likely to become the increase. This is a Tuesday morning at 2 a.m. You can see where the model has likely what will be Tropical Storm Chris. And then you can see here Wednesday morning, it brings it right up to the Outer Banks of the Carolinas, really begins to start this intensification process. And then Thursday morning, it goes from the Carolinas to south and New England. And I believe I start these, now I start the 3 hourly snapshots. So you can see Thursday 2 a.m., Thursday at 5 a.m., Thursday at 8 a.m., Thursday at 11 a.m., and Thursday at 5 p.m. Then I space it out a little bit more. But this could be a very, very interesting situation if what the GFS does be correct with playing out with potentially a rapidly intensifying tropical system off the East Coast, possibly even landfalling or getting very close to the Outer Banks, bringing impacts of heavy rain and wind next Tuesday, Wednesday, and the early Thursday. Middle of next week. Very, very warm water sitting off the East Coast. Anomalies as high as 5 Celsius above normal. The Gulf Stream is about 83 to 85, 86 Fahrenheit almost. So with this kind of a system with favorable conditions, this thing has a chance to feedback and possibly rapidly develop. We need to keep an eye on the evolution of this forecast. There's going to be a shortwave trough rotating through the Great Lakes middle of next week. And whether the trough is able to kick this thing out or get pulled in will be interesting to see how intense this actually can get. In the models, the GFS is a little bit stronger than the European, both operationally and ensemble-wise. So we'll have to see if something like this can occur. But this would be a pretty high-impact event for southern New England if a tropical system of this strength does come close enough into the region next Thursday or Friday, depending on the speed of this whole pattern that itself, the tropical system will be settled in itself. So you can see here, this is next Thursday morning. You can see it off the Cape and Islands. Then by next Thursday evening, it's coming up into the Gulf of Maine and weakening as it does so. But again, something to keep an eye on very, very closely middle to end of next week and obviously over the course of the weekend. And yeah, very interesting situation developing, no question about it. Now, here's my forecast track I have in this general area through Monday. Around 30 knots may get named in this time too throughout the weekend. It's already got a 70% chance of getting named, a higher probability over the next 5 days, and I do believe that will be the case by Sunday night. And then Tuesday, Wednesday evening, I have it over here still at 30 knots, but it may be a little bit stronger. This may actually should be 40 knots, but I went with the European intensity. Maybe I shouldn't have, or maybe I should have, but I'm keeping it conservative as now. But then once I get to Thursday, I begin to crank this up to 60 knots, and then by Friday, I'll bring it up into the Maritimes. So you can see, I believe I keep it at 60, 65 knots as it goes, extratropical, subtropical, hybrid, as it races off to the northeast using the European track guidance here with some of the spaghetti guidance. Did I include the spaghetti guidance? I guess I did not include the spaghetti guidance in this video, but I will in the next one. And there you can see here my forecast track out here, 96 out, Future Chris, track and intensity of when this forecast was issued. So anyway, tropics are heating up. You know, we're only into the first few days of July, first week of July, and we have 2 systems that we need to keep an eye on. So active times ahead. That's it for now, and thank you for watching.